So the BJP there enjoying and criticizing what seems to be a power struggle in Karnataka's Congress government. But is this the season finale to the Game of Thrones in Karnataka is the big question. We're going to get to the inside scoop. What we've got to know is the decision by the Congress High Command, which is going to be Rahul Gandhi, is to be taken and is expected to be taken before the 1st of December, which is the day that the winter session of Parliament begins. Now, we also know at this point that Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge is going to meet Rahul Gandhi. He has, of course, met with both camps, Kharge. He knows what they want. Both camps have drawn the red line saying, we don't want this transition, while you have DKS's camp saying, make clear what you're going to do and make this transition. You have Siddaramaiah and DKS who will be summoned to Delhi by Kharge after Kharge holds that meeting with Rahul Gandhi. And of course, you have the Siddaramaiah camp, which is extremely clear that they want the status quo to be maintained till March. And they've dug in their heels. They've had their leaders, their camp people talking to Kharge as well. Meanwhile, the DKS camp wants the transition plan to be spelled out. You had one of those leaders also in the DKS camp saying 200% we're going to have DKS come back as the Chief Minister of Karnataka. So that's the latest we have on perhaps what we're calling the season finale of the Game of Thrones that is on in Karnataka. Deepak and Ritu joining me live on that big story. Deepak, we don't know really how many more meetings it'll take, but the focus really is going to be on Rahul Gandhi's meeting with Mallikarjun Kharge. We're expecting that to happen within the next 36 hours.
Well, there are a lot of certainties here, but the most important question here is what is really going to be the decision that the High Command will make. Even as here Mr. Shivakumar hopes for a positive decision in his favor, Mr. Siddaramaiah's camp continues to maintain that, he's going to continue. There is no question of power sharing. There is so many, question marks that still continue to remain. So for the High Command to make that decision and to ensure that decision also trickles down and plays out, in the manner that they want in Karnataka is important, because they do not want a divided house. They do not want things to really go out of control here. They want sanity to remain. They want governance to continue. For this, a decision that makes everybody happy and pacifies everyone, that is, of course, going to be of great sense. So we'll really have to see in the days to come if there is a decision that's going to be made, what is that decision going to be, and more importantly, how it's going to play out in the state of Karnataka.
Right, and Ritu, you're also with me. We've seen DKS also meet with Jarkioli. What details can you share with us? That's one meeting that perhaps some expected, some didn't, given the criticism that Jarkioli has also, been public with against DKS in the past.
Well, you see, it's not just Satish Jarkioli, but certainly there have been many leaders from Siddaramaiah's camp who are basically making meetings with DK Shivakumar and, exchange their thoughts as well to keep a lot of leaders basically acting as mediators as well in this whole issue. Now, but the main question over here that pops up is that how come the DK's camp comes out right sharply when the state government completes its 2.5 years? Now, obviously, a lot of that leaders from the Siddaramaiah's camp also hint toward it that if the High Command had made this very clear during the initial dates itself, this wouldn't have led to this sort of a confusion to till date that we are really seeing. And now that right after 2.5 years, you have a lot of MLAs from the DK's camp who say that it is the time for the DK to become the Chief Minister. Now, certainly this also hints for us to understand that because there was some sort of a confusion on the day itself when the High Command had decided for the Chief Minister's position as Siddaramaiah, basically there might have been certain conversations that were up that time. Now, that's the reason you have the camp coming out and saying the High Command that why don't you make DK Shivakumar the Chief Minister. Now, obviously we do see that a lot of leaders from his camp remain to be hopeful that in the coming weeks there's going to be a solution to it and the DK will be provided with that position as well. Now, on the other side, you see what the Siddaramaiah's camp is also trying to hint us is that whether that solely DK Shivakumar really wants to become the Chief Minister or it is an act of some MLAs from his camp who are trying to indicate this to the DK Shivakumar that he should take up. He should also, certainly put that pressure on the High Command and act on it as well. So yes, in all those means, how that the High Command is going to provide a long-term solution to it with the 2.5 years left for the government here in the state, that remains to be seen.
So at this moment, Deepak, let's quickly talk about the claim by the BJP about the secret deal that they've been talking about when it comes to DKS.
Well, whether that's even on the table right now, well, it's probably too far-fetched to delve into that aspect. But the aspect here to really look into is how the Congress is going to deal with this situation, because it is a ticking time bomb, and they do not want this to explode, because it will explode on their faces, because it's already a situation where you have the opposition that's taking pot shots each and every day. Governance is something that is taking a back seat, and people, of course, read through that as well, because every day if you're going to have MLAs only talk about this, and if the leadership is only going to be worried about transitions, then you're not going to have governance, of course, at its peak. And that's exactly the concern here. So for the High Command now to decide, especially ahead of a very crucial winter session of the Karnataka Assembly, is going to be important, because you have the opposition that's going to try and corner them at a more aggressive pace in the Assembly. There is also the Parliament that's going to begin at the beginning of the December. So the High Command does not want to really bother about another impending situation in Karnataka while they have their own concerns there to deal with in Delhi. So it's all now up to the High Command as to how they'll decide, because the Chief Minister himself said there is a confusion. It is the High Command that has to resolve it, and they have to do it. So it has come from the horse's mouth itself. So when is the High Command is going to decide, and more importantly, what is the High Command that we're referring to here? Because Mr. Kharge seems to be wanting to discuss with this Rahul Gandhi, and then Mr. Rahul Gandhi, of course, has not really made any communication very clear. So at the end of the day, it's up to the Gandhi family, it looks like, to make this final decision. When that decision is made, who's going to be left out? Is there going to be happy faces all around, or is there going to be disgruntled camps? That is the crucial question.
And let's talk about that for another moment as well, Deepak, because obviously both camps will not be happy with that decision. This is a huge challenge for Rahul Gandhi, who's just come out of a massive defeat in the state of Bihar. Both the camps are looking up to Rahul Gandhi to make a decision, and this will be a huge challenge for the man who has to make the final call.
Well, absolutely, and when you look at how the discussions have been going on. When Mr. Kharge was here, he's met Mr. KJ George. He's a very veteran leader of the Congress here in Karnataka. Mr. KJ George then meets Mr. DK Shivakumar. Finally, Mr. DK Shivakumar meets Mr. Kharge just before he goes to the airport. Now, the message or the discussion that was held between the two leaders, Mr. Kharge and Mr. DK Shivakumar in particular, during that 20-minute or 30-minute ride to the airport, and what that message would be and what is relayed to Delhi, and then the information that comes in from there is going to be very crucial, because what I'm picking up is that there is a possibility over the weekend ahead of the parliament session that Mr. Rahul Gandhi could invite Mr. DK Shivakumar and Mr. Siddaramaiah to speak about this issue as to how to go about this in the future. At that point in time, whether there'll be a clear-cut message sent out, whether there's going to be somewhere a decision that will be made, we'll of course know. But as of now, from what I am gathering from my sources here, there is no information about this meeting that has yet reached either Mr. DK Shivakumar's team or Mr. Siddaramaiah's team. So as of now, it's still speculative. Today, of course, we're expecting Mr. Kharge to have a brief talk with Mr. Rahul Gandhi. He's flying back to Bengaluru tonight, so the meeting, of course, has to happen before that, if it is a possibility. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, of course, will be apprised of the situation and the impending crisis here in Karnataka, and he will, of course, have to take this call. So how soon is the question now?
Deepak and Ritu, do stay with me. I want to talk about how the Congress High Command, of course, cannot upset DK Shivakumar as well at this point.